Hey, welcome to Death Battle Cast. And now everybody leaves.
What a weird way.
Hey, I'm Ben. Welcome to the show. I'm joined by Sam.
That's me.
Supposed to talk at that point.
Yeah.
Liam.
Hey, what's up?
And Javi.
Nailed it.
What's up?
And today we are talking about a very unique matchup that I'm very excited to get into because, as we all know, today is the anniversary of Devil May Cry 3. And so naturally, we're going to be talking about a character that didn't show up until Devil May Cry 4. That's totally the reason why we're doing this episode.
We didn't just realize that 5 minutes before this.
No, what are you talking about?
Always planned.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, if this is your first Death Metal Cast, the entire point of this show is that we just argue with each other and we shout at each other. And by the end of this, all of us are no longer friends and one of us must die. That's why it's called Death Battle. So very excited to see the result of this one. Who knows what's going to happen? Hey, Gilded Data, thank you for the gift of memberships. If you got something from Gilded Data, give him a thanks. Give him a shout out in the chat. Yeah, okay, this is a I don't know, this one's gonna be unique, I think, but we've got Liam representing Nero and Javi representing Hellboy, and it's gonna be their jobs to convince all of us, including you all watching this live right now, that their character wins in a death battle. And at the end of the show, you all watching can vote in a poll to see who actually wins, to determine it. And then we will never, change our minds ever again. That's how it works, right? Yeah, we do this live every Tuesday at noon Central. So
whatever we determine in cast after like a couple hours worth of research, we have to stick to for the rest of our lives.
It's canonized.
That's how it operates. Yeah, it's canonized, exactly.
Just like an actual death battle.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta write it on my tombstone.
It's more real than
Actually,
the actual series, we sort of usurp it in terms of that's great.
We get the Pope. He's the only person that can canonize, actually. So
every episode Death Battle and Death Battle Cast is blessed by the Pope. So don't worry, we do have he's on our payroll.
Yeah.
That's the secret. That's the secret of Death Battle success.
That's how you make things canon. That's what popes do. They canonize, mainly saints, sure, but we got him on the payroll, like you said. So he comes through, canonizes a death battle occasionally.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know where the hell this thread is going, but hey, we'll pull it back to Michael. Thank you for the gift of memberships, and of course, 10 Tails. Jesus Christ, $100 super chat saying, "I was wondering when this is going to happen. All right, tell me who gets slaughtered in this matchup, as I know many people actually like this matchup." Are you saying you don't like it? The implication of that is that you hate it. A lot of people actually like this matchup. That's crazy. What's wrong with them? Yeah, I'm seeing a couple super chats come in, but I think we can jump into ththings on this.
Yeah. Well, I have a new idea we're going to float, and y'all can talk about it. I'll put up a poll. No, the poll will be useless. Cody Briner said I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light. Got that meme out of the way. Should we start also including the top meme from either franchises we talk about in a Death Battle Cast?
Hellboy is the one with the monkey, right? He's got a gun.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah. Like,
is that a monkey? He's got a gun. Blam blam. Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're going to be deep cuts, but I feel like Hellboy and DMC both have some pretty solid meme templates that we could also talk about.
Absolutely. I think that's up to the researcher, or not the researcher, the representative, right? For the character, right?
Cover meme stuff.
Javi and Liam, next time, bring locked and loaded with memes, okay?
Yeah, I'm about to throw it over to Liam to cover Nero, and technically Liam can come at this with any direction or plan that he wants. He just needs to convince us that Nero is supposed to, in his own words, win the fight. Now, it is possible that Liam is about to lie out of his ass, and if he is, chat, call him out on it. It is also possible that Javi is about to throw a shit ton of memes at us about Hellboy and nothing else. And if he does that, cool.
No,
I'm down
not.
for
I
that.
start putting my meme folder into the recycle bin.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this, and then I'll cover some of the other super chats that are coming in because oh my god, there are a lot. Liam, tell us a little bit about Nero.
Sorry, Ben. There's not going to be any lies today. No lies whatsoever. My first biggest argument is that 10 years ago to this day, Barack Obama said that Nero would beat Hellboy in a death battle. And I think
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
alone
right.
is
I
a
remember
big
that.
significant. No. Okay, so Nero obviously is he's the son of Virgil. He is a quarter demon, though that does not make him any less powerful than his father and uncle. He is a demon hunter. He leads a mobile branch of Devil May Cry. He is famous for his Devil Bringer arm, which he loses at the start of DMC 5, but sort of gets back by the end of DMC 5. By the end of DMC 5, he is like a fully manifested hybrid, a demon-human hybrid. He's one of the most powerful characters in the DMC verse. He is part of the bloodline of Sparta, which is an unbelievably powerful demonic bloodline. He is very comparable to Dante and Virgil. He's even defeated Virgil, his father, in combat. I am very excited to hear about all of the weird shit that Hellboy has, all of the weird, goofy, comic booky weapons that Hellboy has. It's all of that stuff is going to be really interesting to cover. The reason that Nero wins is, unfortunately, it's a little boring. It is a matter of scale. He is significantly more powerful than Hellboy, significantly faster, scaling to Dante and to Virgil. It's unfortunately not too much of a contest at the end of the day, though. As I said before, I am very excited to hear about all of the wacky shit that Hellboy has.
I feel like there were lies in there. We just have to
There was
parse out
only
what they
one
were.
lie, and it was maybe the one about Obama.
No.
Is that the new system? You do 2 truths and a lie for your...
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
at the
to throw in
beginning.
one there. I was baited into it. Okay, you guys were asking for it.
Well, Javi, let's talk about Hellboy and how
Alright.
clearly he is going to win because God appointed him here to kill Nero specifically, right?
Oh, you're not far off on that actually. So Hellboy was born in the year 1600 and had the hand of a watcher angel by the name of Anum grafted onto his right arm. And upon doing so, his father Azael, the king of demons, it did this so that he could become the bringer of the apocalypse of Ragnarok. Ragnarok is this huge event, always destined to happen at the end of the world in the Hellboy universe. But a whole bunch of angels were set to destroy Azael and his plan, and for some reason, flash forward to 1954, Grigory Rasputin performs a ritual that actually ends up summoning Hellboy, and mind you, he's a baby at the time, from the year 1600 to the present 1954. He is later picked up by the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense and fathered by Professor Trevor Broom. He is completely adopted as Trevor Broom's son, and he becomes a paranormal investigator by the age of 14. He ages at a rapid pace, but he also is ageless. So he's been alive since the 1950s, and he is aged like a 20-year-old by the time he's a teenager.
But he got to the teens really quick.
Yes, he got to the teens really quick. And so early on, he was fighting a whole bunch of demons, werewolves, all sorts of supernatural beings at a very, very young age. And mind you, one of the big things about him is that he is supposed to be the bringer of the apocalypse. He is supposed to command with his right hand the dragon, the Ogdru Jahad, who is created with God's flame, to bring about the end of everything. And there's a big theme in the entire story of just Hellboy having to kind of deny his destiny and pave his own path for himself. Which contrasts really interestingly with the Del Toro films, which are very excellent. But he very much ends up stopping the apocalypse. And I'm going to tell you right now, Hellboy is a force to be reckoned with and is more than a match for Nero.
Okay, so Am I right in saying that the core connection between both of them here is they got the wrong hand? Literally, they got the wrong hands.
They are.
Nero's got the right hand. Nero's Devilbringer is just his actual like transformed demonic hand. He just gets it when he's like in his human form. But yes, the connection is that they have demon. They have special arms.
They got evil hands. Oh
and
no,
they're demon. They're half demon, or they're
They're
demon.
both
right,
half
that
demon,
part.
half human.
Yeah.
Hellboy is actually his mother's a human, but she's actually a descendant of King Arthur. And so Hellboy is both king of not only men because of that, but also demon because of his ties with Azael, his father, the Duke of Hell.
Okay. So Hellboy is the bestest guy ever, basically.
Well, hey, he was raised by a good man. He raised him relatively normal childhood. It's interesting because in the Del Toro films, obviously there's that big external conflict where he looks like a monster. But in the comics, funny enough, by the time he's like a young adult, he gets honorary human status, and everyone just kind of like fucks with him heavy. Like no one actually like bats an eye when he shows up. He's already like accepted by society. So that's kind of like an interesting dichotomy.
The most unrealistic thing about the comic. They're just
I know.
Red demon guy, we're cool. Like, sure.
Oh, okay. We'll get more into how they stack up in just a second. Real quick, shout out to DBZ Doctor Who and Broken Limit for joining Planet Level Champion. Welcome. Thank you for the support. We got some super chats. Alicorn Pictures. Well, guess what I'm playing right now? Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. Honestly, love the game, but the backtracking is atrocious. It's a point docked for you, Liam. I'm sorry.
Damn, dog, that's tough.
Nero isn't even in DMC 3. This is a DMC 3 comes before
rough,
DMC
man.
4
what can we say?
and DMC 5.
Pink says, to be honest, I think Nero would take the dub. So, hey, okay, you get another point. You backtrack that point. Pink agrees. And DBZ Doctor Who says, I think Hellboy and Spider-Man would be a better match. Well, DBZ Doctor Who, Spider-Man doesn't have a demon arm, so doesn't work. Sorry. Okay. So we got demon boys, half demon boys.
That's one way to put it.
Literally.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the end of the story.
Yeah. What the heck, Liam? You said Nero was like far and away going to overpower him and be faster and whatnot. Can you get into a little bit of that? Why?
That's like the end. I mean, this is 13 minutes in. I can jump into final arguments.
I mean, like, let's talk about why Nero is going to win. Let's talk about what Nero can do. That's really good. I don't know, like what can Nero do? That's what I'm trying to get you to talk about.
We'll build up to it. We're gonna go. Okay, so in DMC4 he has his Devil Bringer, which is like his fully demonic arm like manifested in his human form. What I mean by that is, you know how like Dante and Virgil, they fight as humans, but then they can transform into their devil trigger form. He has his devil trigger form, but only in his arm. And it's able to like shoot out and grapple people, absorb weapons, like devil arms, like Yamato, which we'll talk about, which is Virgil's space cutting katana. But at the beginning of DMC 5, he loses it. He gets it cut off, and he gets it replaced with a Devil Breaker, which is like this cyborg arm that there's multiple different versions of it. They each have unique abilities. Eventually, once he unlocks his Devil Trigger form, he then, even in his human form, gets his Devil Bringer back, but in the form of these spectral arms that are sort of like hanging out around him like wings. So now he just has a normal arm, right? But that he can attach the Devil Breakers to, but he also has the Devil Bringer like spectral arms that can reach out. So he gets the best of both worlds by the end of DMC 5. And then obviously once he transforms into his Devil Trigger form, he gets the like fully like buffed out like arm and also the rest of his body. So I mentioned Yamato before. When he had Yamato, he could manifest that with his sort of spectral Devil Trigger form and use its abilities. Now, in his Devil Trigger form, he's actually absorbed that ability, so he doesn't have Yamato anymore. Virgil has it again, but he can replicate Yamato's abilities. So he can cut through space in his Devil Trigger form. He can form 2 spectral arms that
Without
kind of
Yamato?
reach out. Without Yamato, yes. It is one of his moves
Okay.
in his Devil Trigger form that he cuts through space, and it is clarified in guidebooks that he is, in fact, he is not just like a effect that looks like it. He can cut through space. He can also summon those spectral swords that Virgil can do, like the spinning swords, and send them out. So again, mimicking one of Virgil's like Yamato abilities. Transform into Devil Trigger makes him really strong. Notably, when Virgil and Dante are fighting at the end of DMC5, they're in Sin Devil Trigger forms, which is like the super badass. I have fully connected with my human and devil side. I am 100% much more powerful than regular Devil Trigger. Nero is able to come in just regular Devil Trigger and like stop them and then knock them out of their Sin Devil Trigger forms. They'd been fighting for a little bit, so you could say maybe it just evens out. But his Devil Trigger form is as powerful as Virgil's Sin Devil Trigger form because they fight in a boss fight right after that. He's got an absurd healing factor. This is something, and we'll talk about stuff that we covered in Dante versus Clive. Absurd healing factor, stabbed multiple times, like right through the chest. Also, notably, he has like the craziest healing feat in like the series. He was melted down, body and soul. The quote is dissipated into mist, and was able to will his body back together. This is when he's inside Savior. This is something we mentioned in Dante versus Clive. He's able to adapt to new abilities, like kind of on the fly. Virgil, when he was in his Nilo Angelo form in DMC1, was able to adapt to Dante's ability to stop time, so he could start moving and stop time. He has insane willpower. Virgil was able to, and I'm talking about Virgil and Dante here because they have the same Sparta bloodline. I'm talking about like passive abilities they all have. Able to resist mind control for 9 years by Mundus. Telekinesis, harming and seeing intangible spirits, invisible spirits, removing souls from bodies. Notably, even though they have these crazy healing factors because they're demons, when they hurt demons, like when they're powerful enough and they hurt demons, demons like a lot of the time do not heal. Even after years, they don't heal. I think it was Belial or somebody, one of the big demon bosses that they fight, had like a scar over his eye that he kept for years after fighting, I think, Sparta. And Dante was able to blow up the heads of Cerberus, and they did not heal. So they have some form of like, either they're very powerful, they can somewhat negate the regeneration or slow it down of other beings. And there's also this very weird ability that some demons have, like Dante and Virgil. I don't think Nero ever does this, so you could say that this is sort of it doesn't count. I just wanted to bring it because I think it's cool. They can take the names of demons or give them names. And when you take a demon's name, you are taking like their essence, their like sort of like physical form. Like they are depowered.
The Mega
by
Man
that.
thing.
Yeah. It's a very
you take their power up.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very unique, and we'll talk about Mega Man in a little bit. Yeah.
I mean,
very excited.
So very unique. I don't think
Wait.
Nero's ever done this. He maybe has. I don't know.
It was. I feel like there was 20 years where if Capcom made a game, that was gonna happen. That's more of like a Capcom thing.
They need to do the Mega Man thing.
Yeah, they're just like when you beat boss, you get new power.
Yeah.
All of our games are like this. So
the healing factor thing, because I maybe I'm misremembering the idea that he can somehow negate a demon's healing factor.
Mm-hmm.
Is that ever explored and explained?
I don't think it's ever explained. This is something that we're like extrapolating from what we see. So maybe you don't have to like fully buy into it. But it is notable. It does happen a lot. Like they do fight multiple demons. I can pull up a list if you want me to. Is
it that he's somehow negating a healing factor, or that he's just so fucking powerful that it doesn't matter? Like the healing isn't going to be fast enough or robust enough to keep up.
I mean, ostensibly, like if he blew off their like head, for instance, with Cerberus, no matter how powerful you are, that would just cover the blowing up of the head part. It wouldn't affect the growing back of the head part, or the scar that was left over. Was it Belial? I'm just trying to pull up the almost there. Yes, here we go. Hmm, hmm, uh, Oh, Beowulf's eye. Beowulf's eye. For years, it was able to. Sparta did it to one of his eyes, and then Dante did it to another one of his eyes, and it took years, and it never healed. Uh, da, da, da. And even like Virgil, when he was Nilo Angelo, he was killed. Like he was super fucking dead, and he's just their healing is so good that I came back from death, but he was like fully killed, and he was gone 4 years before he was able to sort of reconstitute his body. So you could say it either prevents it or it really slows it down, depending on the power of the demon that you're dealing with. Maybe like a weaker demon would be put down for longer, and a stronger demon would be able to like heal but slower.
Is there ever
Okay.
an explanation of how they retain consciousness without like a mind or body? This is just my own curiosity here.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a little bit more of a deep dive. I think it's
Yeah.
the vibe I
Okay.
got from one of the passages I read is that it's just sort of like a spiritual essence thing. You know, I feel my
Yeah.
body sort of.
We're
here it talks
talking
about me being
souls
melted,
now,
like,
yeah.
I can feel my soul falling apart, and I
Yep.
grab onto it and I pull it back. It's something like that.
Yep.
Okay. And Sarah mentions Virgil exploded and came back. Yeah, that's yeah. Well, we have a super chat from fake Adam Sandler who mentions that Javi lost his last 2 casts. Will he redeem himself today?
I'm coming back today. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Liam's time for
chat's
talking
got you,
is
so
over.
all right.
It's my time.
It's time for you to like convince
I'll
me.
bring it.
Convince us.
I'll bring the thunder. So,
because that was a lot on Nero. Like, tell us about Hellboy. Why does all of what Liam just said not matter?
So, Hellboy can literally also regenerate from just his soul. But not only that, he fights. So the main villain of the entire series is the Ogju Jahad. That's the dragon that is created by the person who the angel that originally owned Hellboy's right hand. So what the angel did is he pulled and used God's flame, which is known as Vril in the series of Hellboy, and he molds the dragon. And then night comes, and the dragon gets filled with darkness, and that darkness is called Shakti. So Vril, God's flame, Shakti is evil God's flame. So Sam, go ahead and pull up image 2. So this is an enemy by the name of the Black Flame. He was gestating, so that thing over on to the left of him or to the right of him is the prison of the dragon that the angel molded. So whenever the dragon tries to take over, the universe or whatever, it needs a vessel. So the being in the middle here, the Black Flame, is one of those vessels. He says, "I am the 7, not the servant of the 7. I am the 1." So that's a big thing throughout the entire series. The 7 who are 1. This thing is now the vessel of the dragon.
Man, Liam's camera has changed dramatically. Liam, you're not looking so good today. You look like a skull in darkness. What happened to you?
I brought too much heat. I took Liam out.
There he is.
I didn't notice we lost him.
To recompose myself. I also have a healing factor.
Yeah. So go ahead and Sam, pull up image 3. So all disciples of the Ogju Jahad get connected to this metaphysical force called the All. This is just what the dragon has access to in its existence. So this picture is just him explicitly stating, "I'm connected to the All." Go ahead and pull up image 1. So the All is this metaphysical force which enables him to literally feel the entire energy of the universe and become one with it. And this is him literally even stating his power flashes and burns across the universe. To go even further into what the All is, image 4, Sam, it is very explicitly stated that you literally become one with the universe, and you literally become one with every atom. It becomes yours to be, to feel, to see, everything. And this is just very explicitly stated to be infinite. Again, this is the dragon. Mind you, Hellboy is supposed to be the being to command and use the power of the dragon. So he literally, one of these disciples, the Black Flame, like I showed earlier, is connected with this force because he's just a disciple and is being used as a vessel of the dragon. So image 5, again, just more very blatant, explicit examples of it breaking apart the boundaries of infinite. He is this actually this person right here. So like I talked about where there's Vril and Shakti. This right here is Johann Klaus. So if you remember Hellboy 2, the movie, that's the ghost guy in the cool ghost suit or whatever. So this is him. He ends up getting a suit that actually uses the power of Vril, which, mind you, Hellboy's arm is already imbued with Vril because it used to be connected to the angel. That is, now grafted to his arm. Okay. So, Johann is right now inside of a suit called, and you can see it like the bottommost panel. That's kind of like the face of the suit. It looks like an Iron Man suit, but it's called the Sledgehammer. So the Sledgehammer uses the ultimate power of Vril, and through Vril, he connects with the All, the same thing as the Black Flame. And after he does so, image 6, he literally rends the entire universe to destroy one of the heads of the dragon. This is just one of the heads. It wasn't the full dragon. So Rasputin, series finale, becomes one with the dragon, image 7. Becomes one with the dragon. This is him literally being like, I am the dragon. There's this big climactic fight. Hellboy is teaming up again with Abe, which I don't know what he's gonna do. He's literally just a fish man. And Liz, who actually is just Vril incarnate. So her power of flame, it's actually God's flame. Like she is she's been referenced multiple times in the comics to be the physical vessel avatar of God. So she literally has the power of Vril and incarnate or whatever. But anyways, he becomes the dragon. And You know what Hellboy's honest to God reaction is? Image 8. Sam completely obliterates him. Completely obliterates him.
Okay.
Is that the full fight? Like he's just like, look at my hand.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie. The fight is pretty anticlimactic. It lasts like 5 pages. They kind of like wrestle a little bit. And then Rasputin like pulls off his arm, and then Hellboy just like chokes him and just blasts him with Vril, and like he just dies. It becomes like skeletons.
Multiple.
So, mind you, he did this in his Devil Heart Awakened form. So you know how it's called Double Trigger for Nero. So Hellboy's Devil Heart awakens, and that's when he becomes a Nung Unrama. So he becomes, go ahead and pull up the image mountains, Sam. When he awakens his full form, he can also be normal sized, but the full size of his form actually extends past the range of mountains. And just to give you an idea, the absolute lowest peak a mountain range can get is like 1,500 meters, and the absolute tallest being that Nero has ever fought was the Savior, which is like 150.
I can't even really tell what we're looking at, to be honest.
So at the top is Hellboy. At the top is Hellboy, and it says a giant striding across the mountains wrapped in flames. So below him is the mountains, and then this the second panel is him blowing the fucking mountain range up.
Okay, Okay.
So that's just to give you an idea of how big his AoE is with his flames in his giant form.
Okay.
And he does this while he's in hell.
Okay, so these are hell mountains that you've just applied like Earth's geophysical mountains.
Hell is like hell is so there's hell, heaven, earth. They're all reflections of each other in the Hellboy universe.
Okay, so they're mirror like but bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Neptune and chat. Composite Rasputin must go crazy.
Yeah, that's a good call. Big dick too. We all know that.
There we go. The secret ultimate combatant for Death Battle, Composite Rasputin.
So I mentioned earlier. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
you're kind of losing me a bit here because I feel like we're sort of maybe skipping ahead on what he's capable of. Like, I don't really know. Isn't this because he controls the dragon? So like,
no. So
if Rasputin takes on the power of the dragon, doesn't Hellboy just like control Rasputin then, and that's why he wins?
No. So the vessel becomes Rasputin. Rasputin is now Hellboy's supposed to be the vessel of he's supposed to command and be the vessel of the dragon. That's like kind of his like end goal, like his destiny. He's supposed to be one with the dragon because the hand that was grafted to him that's the creator's hand. So they become one. But he's like, no, I don't want that. Like that's not me. Also, the hand gets imbued with the entire energy of
this. Also comes down to like, I feel like religious allegory things are often a weird thing to like power scale around, just because like, oh, it's, you know, it's got the strength of God, and you're like, cool, yeah, but we also kind of think that Pikachu could beat God. So like, right, like, you know, there's like a level of it where it I don't know, I just like, until you put like some, like, none of it seems in my head like scalable enough. I see what you're saying, but because it's in this world of like, it's the power of a god without showing like, okay, here's that god throwing 1,000 planets into the sun or something, like, I don't know, it's
I already showed though that the black flame was connected to the all.
Yeah.
Just by being one with the dragon. And we also get an example from Johann literally rending the universe. Johann, excuse me.
I
like Johann. Let's keep Johann in the mix.
And then also using the fact that Rasputin becomes the dragon as well. So like, just like the black flame, he's just another vessel. In fact, so the images that I showed earlier with the black flame, that literally that body was supposed to be for Rasputin as well. Like, the black flame was not supposed to be the vessel, but he just happened to inhabit that body, and Rasputin was supposed to be the one that was supposed to do that, and he just ends up doing it later on by the end of the series.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It feels a little strange though, just because there is this, like, you're talking about these panels down here where they're like, oh, everything is one with the universe and stuff.
Well, because he says get woven into all, the bolded all, and then the black flame explicitly states he's connected to the all because of his connection with the Ogdru Jahad, because they are one.
Yeah,
and Rasputin becomes the dragon.
The argument is kind of that, like, this correlates to Hellboy is greater than all.
Mm-hmm.
Or also Rasputin's full of shit. You know, it's like the other side.
This is the series finale, though. Also, by this point in the comics, explicitly at the beginning of each, because at the beginning of each comic for this arc, it says that the most powerful enemy that the BPRT team has faced is yet to come, and that referencing Rasputin, and that would mean that he's more powerful than the Black Flames. I don't know what we're saying right now.
Could I jump in?
Yeah, get your hand on that ball.
I didn't fully follow. There was a lot of proper nouns in there. I'll say that Nero's universal scaling is that Mundus, in a cutscene when you fight him as a boss, creates a universe on screen, and then Dante murders him. And then later, Dante comes back and fights a stronger version of Mundus, and then shoots him like once in the head, and he fucking dies. So
and then Mundus, somebody put in a super chat earlier that Mundus like becomes your familiar by the fifth one, right? Like.
I can't say that.
Okay.
Maybe. Mundus like merges like multiple universes like all together, and then Dante like shoots him in the face.
Familiar, I think, is a little bit of a strong way to put it, but kind of. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. There was a little bit of like, I become one with the universe, which I don't think makes you universe level necessarily. That's more of like a
I started literally rending the universe though.
The idea is that the dragon is the power to obliterate everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is
like a very long-winded of getting there.
Yeah. So the idea here, like, Mundus creates a universe, albeit we don't know the exact scale of that universe, right? If we're going to like power scaling gods or whatever, but it is
described as infinitely sized. Yes.
That's right. Okay. But so Mundus creates a universe, and then Hellboy casually defeats Rasputin, who has the power to destroy a universe. Is essentially what we're getting at here.
Yes.
So, or both of them casually defeat a being who has a universal scope of power.
Yeah.
So
That's
what I'm getting here is everything we just said means all of it kind of matches up, and it doesn't really matter. They both
pretty much. Then we get into the tiny little
things, they both pair up in power, which means we can, as I saw a couple people in chat talking about, we can get into it being just a battle with devil people with guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can talk a little bit about that. And sword. Yes, that's.
I also will say, I personally, I don't feel like the power of creation always equals the power of destruction as well. I.e., Chad and Captain Crunch. I still think he's wrong. Just because you can crunch a dice and make life doesn't mean you can take it away.
It's a little bit different.
Yes, it is. But
sure, I understand that.
Also in the scans though, like because Johan's being talked to by another the previous Johan. You know what? He gets talked to by the previous Sledgehammer suit owner who became one with the Infinite as well. But he literally, the word infinite is not passed around lightly. Like it is very explicit. Like when you are connected to this power source, you become one with the universe. You're infinite. You are now infinite in scale. And so showing Johan using that and being very explicit in that power.
Timeline wise, these images you have, this all is like the finale, right? It all happens in pretty quick succession.
Yeah.
So like when your boy Johan has the power of infinite. Johan. When Johan has the infinite power and kills the dragon, why isn't he also dealing with Rasputin?
So, because he's a human soul, using the power of the infinite, he like dies. But the Black Flame does not have that happen to him because he's like using a new body that was made specifically for Rasputin to be like a vessel. It's like it's a lot of lore drops, but Johan is also, he doesn't have a physical body. He's literally just his spirit.
So Yojo only gets one
Sam said
blast, essentially.
Yeah,
he's got one missile to shoot.
Just something.
Okay. Yeah,
Sam said. And with the familiar thing, I believe it's Nightmare that becomes a familiar of V. V is like half of Virgil. He's in DMC5.
Okay.
Nightmare is the one that can destroy. That has the power to destroy a universe.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I wanted to like hammer this in now is because one of the points that Liam made earlier on was that it was a complete wash for Nero, that it was like not even close in terms of scale of power. This just like borderline like shows like no, they're very close in power. Because at the end of the day, like you were saying, Ben, this is very
been debated
like,
for years, and I've like never heard this interpretation before. I'll go with it, but I imagine that Javi is stretching a little bit. But then again, I've stretched too. So
you've never heard this interpretation of the ending? Is that what you mean?
I've never heard somebody say Hellboy is like universe level, but this is like a
interesting. I did see a few people in chat talking about it before Javi brought it up. So I can already confirm that Javi is not completely making this up. Probably.
I put so many pictures.
Yeah, and also we do have some visual evidence. But yeah,
I will say. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
Oh well, you go ahead and complete your thought, and then I want to. I have something.
Yeah, I mean, this is so, mind you, like he's just capable of like fighting someone on this scale. But when it comes down to also the regeneration, Hellboy is also effortlessly shaken off, like being impaled, literally Devil May Cry style, all the time in the comics, and also he's completely regenerated. From literally his own soul as well. And also, when he fights one of the vessels of the dragon, she rips his heart out and pulls him straight into hell and starts this whole series called Hellboy in Hell. He has his own arc in hell. And from just his soul heart, his devil heart in hell, he literally regenerates his entire body. So his soul can also regenerate itself as well.
Can we rule out a tie then?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
Well, like, because
well,
why would it be a tie at all?
If they can both regenerate from anything, essentially, like,
well,
Sure. I
if
mean,
they
we
can
need to
be-
get to a point where
yeah.
that's not a factor.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't do ties in death battle. What are you talking about?
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like, can they kill each other? You're both saying
Oh,
they
I see what you
they
mean.
can regenerate from nothing. Like, can
So-
they kill
well,
each other?
I talked about the regeneration negation stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That,
That even you
powerful
yourself
demons
were
can
slightly
kill.
skeptical about.
so
well,
you
now I'm
mentioned
less
the name
skeptical.
stuff.
It's less
right?
skeptical and more we just don't know the exact specifics.
Yeah.
But also we know in the case of DMC, that healing factor can be overtaxed, right?
Yeah.
Virgil is the big example of that. Virgil
We know
has
that they
been
kill
on
demons.
Yeah.
they kill demons. Virgil's been on death's door multiple times. This is something we talked about in Dante versus Clive. This is it will end in a death, and Hellboy is not. I'm pretty positive Hellboy is not 100% invincible. It's not like you can't finish him off.
no.
So this will end in a death. So I don't think that'll be necessarily an issue, especially if they are so close in like levels of power. So jumping in, I want to jump into a couple super chats in just a second because we have quite a few strong opinions about this matchup. But I also want to say, hey, this episode is sponsored by us because we have some cool stuff to talk about. Which is, hey, if you have not seen what's on the Death Battle store, go to deathbattle.gg. We have some new merch items there, including I should have worn it. Shoot, I don't know why I didn't wear it. The Mecha Goose hoodie, which is a wild fucking random thing that was it you, Sam, who put it together? I can't remember who put it together.
I just got too deep in Photoshop one afternoon.
Yeah, but it looks so freaking cool, very much modeled after, like classic Toho or Godzilla style, like posters and things like that. It looks really cool. And then Chad also just dug deep into the archives and found the original Death Battle shirt, the very first one we ever made, the one that took on the entire world and won its own episode, essentially. It's not really an episode, it's more like a commercial or whatever. But the original Death Battle shirt is back, which with much better materials. And you can go check that out. There's also, if you are a member of the Death Battle website, there is a brand new retro version of that shirt. I love that old school shirt. I love that we're able to bring it back. So definitely go check that out. And if you have not seen it yet, we did just recently release our first episode of Death Battle for the year, Ichigo versus Yusuke. And shout out to the team for one hell of an episode. We didn't really talk about it too much last week because of the whole like, hey, we just built a set for our other channel, the Nightly Brew.
Yeah.
Remember? So I didn't really talk too much about like what was going on with Ichigo Yusuke, but it is, I really love how the episode turned out. And a huge shout out to Zach for the main animator for it, for such a stylish kind of approach. And I do want to call out how like there are two people who I think, or I guess two like jobs for an episode that really help make an episode like Yusuke Ichigo like really stand out, which is the music and the sound design. Because like going into that episode, I really wanted Ichigo Yusuke to like feel like going back in time a little bit to feel like an episode, an old school anime or a 90s type anime or early 2000s, something from that era. And Brandon Yates on that music just nailed that so much. But Philip Span in particular with like the sound design, I feel like sound design is something that like a lot of people don't necessarily think too much about when they're watching an episode of Death Battle. But it's just so fucking important.
I would say sound design is the single greatest thing we ever like got from the Rooster Teeth era. Like we upgraded sound design so big time when we moved to Rooster Teeth because they had sound designers that are incredible, i.e. Philip Span still working for us. And it just makes stuff so good. Yeah.
The dude is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Yeah. If you've never like really listened, like I don't know what that's supposed to mean if you've never really listened to a death battle. But like next time you're watching one of the death battles, like maybe spend a little time like focusing on like how it sounds. Because I think it's a great sound design is often something that kind of goes, I feel like under the radar a lot. But it is so integral to like if something has bad sound, and it brings the entire thing down.
We should talk to Philip and see if he'll come on like a fireside chat, because it's always so interesting to see. You'll see like a punch and he's be like, see, this is Boulder 4 with a little bit of Rock Crush 3 under it. And I'm like, cool. Like it's just
yeah.
Sound design is such a wild world, but it's so cool to see it come together.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have not seen Ichigo Yusuke, it's great. I love that we finally brought my boy Yusuke into Death Battle. You guys know he's one of my favorite characters of all time. Definitely not biased. Yeah, it was a very fun episode to work on. And they fight demons like these guys. Kind of. Yeah, basically. Yeah. So again, if you haven't checked out the episode or gone to deathbattle.gg, go do so. We'd appreciate it. So some quick super chats from Yosuke Hanamura. Screw accounting, it's death battle time. Yeah, fuck your job, I'm guessing.
I think it's just because it's tax season. That's what I was
doing
right before Death Battle Cast. I was like, taxes.
Oh, taxes. Fun. Great. Yeah. Night Ghost sent is the Death Battle gifted membership. Thank you, Night Ghost. Swords of the Satyr. Nero sword is pretty cool, but what is your favorite fictional sword?
Maybe we can talk about favorite fictional sword. That's a good champion cast topic.
That's what I was going to say too. Yeah, if you stick around after Death Battle Cast ends, we'll do a champion cast for members. We might talk about that. Ray mentions Till Obama that DMC is turning 25 this year. Yeah, he told us. We already talked to Obama about that. That's
why had him on the horn earlier.
Yeah.
He was like, none of that Mario vs. Sonic shit. Y'all got to do Nero. It's the 25th. And I was like, all right, okay, Obama. Fine.
And Broken Limit mentions happy birthday to DMC3. Again, yeah, that's absolutely the reason why we're doing this episode specifically. Let's see. Kino mentions massive Hellboy fan here. Hellboy has Melomi's bell, which can revive him and heal him fully, and has been used on a number of occasions. Is that tied to his healing factor, or is this an additional
just an additional thing? He does it later on in the series as well. So he's died and come back to life 4 times in the series. One of the times was with outside help. The rest of them was not. Actually, I guess if you're counting Melomi's, then so that was like 2 different times. But the other 2 times he just comes back to life. And one of them was the soul. Oh, I guess it's 5. But one of them was the soul resurrection. Like he just comes back with his soul. And he's like he's immediately ready to fight like right after. There is no like he's tired after regenerating after that. But Melomi's belt also really helps with the full health feel as well. So he's got 2 different level of regenerations like that.
Okay.
His sword, Excalibur, the very same owned by King Arthur.
He's King Arthur's long lost son, right?
Yes.
Or whatever.
Really? It can also yes. Not long lost son.
He mentioned it earlier that he was related to King Arthur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's a descendant of King Arthur.
That's fun.
And that's like I feel like I'm lore dropping Hellboy, which is like Hellboy is like my all-time like favorite like comic book series. It finished technically in 2015. Mike Mignola is like now doing like prequel stuff to take place before the series finale, which was when he fought Rasputin. But anyways, his sword can also cut like space. It literally like opens portals into hell. And he survives getting stabbed by it also. So him getting cut by space is not going to affect him at all. He also has spikes that he also has nails rather that can also open portals to hell. And think of his like arm too as like kind of like a Captain America shield. Like that thing is so tough. Even if his body's not able to take something, like he can use that as like a really good shield. When it comes to Hellboy's like equipment and Nero's double breakers, it's interesting. A lot of like Nero's double breakers don't really do much other than ragtime. Ragtime is pretty helpful for him. That is the one that enables him to slow down time. But a big thing about Nero's double breakers in both the story and in the gameplay is that they break really easily, and they only have one. Once he uses their ultimate ability, it's gone. And Hellboy literally has access to his arm at all time. The power, the firepower of Vril, the regeneration. He has the benefit sure of his charms that help like boost his like stats that can like increase his defense, but also double his attack. He has a charm that actually creates a barrier around himself. So there's just a lot of things that Nero's gonna have to deal with also the fact that in this case, being bigger does mean better because his AoE is just completely eclipses Nero's. With the fact that he's able to like explode out flames.
Have we talked much about speed?
I wanted to talk about speed as well, and also make sure that we cover how that relates to Nero himself. So real quick, speed from Hellboy's perspective, how is there any good example of him outpacing somebody who's really fast or whatever?
He's dodged lasers before, like borderline lasers. There's I forget the name of the
borderline
villain.
Lasers.
Yeah, what's
yes, actual lasers stated to be lasers.
Okay, but borderline is confused the shit out of me there.
Okay, actual
Just
lasers.
He's dodged lasers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, that's
all right. How about Nero?
Nero can like blitz lasers. Like he can move significantly faster than them. The calc that we got in Dante versus Clive was about 11 times faster than light. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that Hellboy's done that matches up with that?
So when we were showing earlier the picture of Johan using the all to rend Johan. Yojo. I'll just call him Yojo.
Johan
Joestar,
please.
Johan Joestar. Earlier to rend the stars, he's literally grabbing the stars out of the sky and attacking this dragon. So that would apply to the attacks of a dragon boosted Oju Jihad disciple, which is what Rasputin is.
Winwin just creates a universe that's infinitely sized. He's literally like stretching his power across an infinite space. So you can just do the same thing, you can just make the same argument.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their power set, the power that they're interacting with moving really quickly, but they themselves, are they capable of reacting that quickly? You know what I mean? Like if Nero shot Hellboy with a laser that moved as fast as those stars were moving, would Hellboy be able to dodge that? Not that Nero necessarily has that, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. Do you know what I mean?
So, I mean, by the fact that he's able to dodge and attack Rasputin by the end of the series, who has that same power that Yojo has, yes. But it's like what Liam was saying, because they both have infinite like interpretations. It just like balances out.
I guess so. Okay.
Could I throw out a couple of things?
Sure. Yeah.
Nero also has ways of instantly like coming back to life. He has gold orbs. He can carry a max of 3 at a time, which will bring him back to life. Even if he dies. So beyond the soul regenerating stuff. I can't confirm this for myself, but I was looking at discussions about Hellboy's like getting his heart ripped out, and I guess being sent to hell. I'm not sure. How long did that take?
It was right then and there. Like his regeneration, it happened like immediately.
Didn't you say it like transitioned into a different storyline where Hellboy was like in hell?
So it takes place right after. So what happens in that is Hellboy
All I'm saying is
fights
because Nero can regenerate like instantly, like that. His regeneration happens instantly.
So Hellboy fights one of the disciples of the Oju Jihad that is being used as a vessel, and she pulls him into hell. She literally takes his heart and pulls him into hell, and then the whole entire story arc, Hellboy in Hell, takes place like immediately after that because he's in hell, like right.
So
after.
he's not pulled to hell because he dies. Is that what you're saying? He's pulled to hell because as part of the attack.
As part of it, well, his body crumbles in like the world.
Okay.
Like
so he does
the human
die.
World. Yeah, and then so his heart literally she pulls his heart, which is like this like big flaming thing or whatever, and
Yeah, I see
he's
the
in
panel and
hell.
his body disintegrates.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what disintegrates him?
The
The what do you
disciple
mean? Like him being the disciple, exactly. Him being
uses
pulled into hell.
antiviral magic to grab him. Is what I'm getting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's specifically but the act of pulling him into hell is what kills him. Destroys his mortal plane body or whatever. Is what's going on.
And that's when he's in hell. That's one of the when he comes back into the human world. That's one of the instances I mentioned earlier that he needed outside help to do that. But the interesting point with that in particular is Hellboy didn't want to come back. It was a way to force him back to life. Because he was done. He was like removed finally. He didn't have to worry about, because the thing is, it's funny, Sam's reactions is literally Hellboy's reactions to all the bullshit that he was dealing with. Like he's like, what do you mean I'm the king of men and then I'm the king of hell? Like this is like I just want to be left alone. Like he didn't want to deal with all that. So after he finally like killed Satan in hell and like finally like laid waste to the behemoths in hell, he just chilled. He just chilled for years, and then the BBRD team needed him to come back to face off against Rasputin.
Okay.
Well, if that can happen, like his soul being like sent into hell, it is worth remembering that characters like Nero and Virgil and Dante can mess with souls. They can tear souls out of bodies. It's actually one of the core game mechanics that they tear a soul out of a defeated opponent and absorb that into themselves and use that as a devil arm.
Capcom. Yeah.
So I think if his soul can be manipulated in that way, that's a potential opening for Nero. Also, I wanted to address like the size thing. Size, not a fucking problem for Nero. Virgil was able to cut the Clyphoth tree, which at its max size was literally like covering the entire planet. It like reached in almost into like outer space. It was so gigantic, and he was able to cut it with Yamato. So attacking beings of that size, and like every DMC fight is fighting a giant fucking monster. Like they have the strength to fight something that big. If anything, it would be a disadvantage for Hellboy having to fight this little gnat that's like flying around, and you know, at 11 times the speed of light. So yeah,
So,
I don't fully buy size argument.
So the Clyphoth tree that they cut was actually the roots, and Virgil did that with the help of Dante. And the Clyphoth also is a stationary, non-moving object, whereas Hellboy actually does move around. But also, I mean that's the point there. That's it. That's the only
Okay.
point. When it comes to the flying
even
gnat,
the root
though,
itself was the size of like a mountain.
yeah.
All right.
Hellboy's bigger than Virgil.
We're gonna have to get to this poll here in just a second. We'll say just a couple last super chats here. A young family mentions Mundus fuses with multiple universe-sized structures, and Dante beat him in base. Some of those universes being above time itself. Sure. But yeah, the fact that a couple people have mentioned that like Dante's beating Mundus in base, whereas Hellboy's beating Rasputin in his devil. What is it called? I keep forgetting what it's called. The devil form. Yeah, the special form.
And doing it early on in the series.
That being said, a couple people have mentioned. There was there was a super chat from somebody mentioned that scaling Nero to Dante, there is some question there, as the only time Nero like defeated Dante and Virgil, they were already exhausted from previous.
I wanted to address
fighting.
that. I actually wanted specifically to address that because they talk about one of the core like devil abilities is their insane endurance. Dante and Virgil are able to keep fighting for 40 days. They had only been fighting for like an hour or two at that point, so they were nowhere near the end of their limit in terms of endurance. And it's also stated, I think in one of the novels, that they only need a couple of seconds to fully recover their stamina. It's only when they're like consistently fighting for 40 days straight that they were able to finally exhaust themselves. But even just a little bit of a break, they're able to recover. So I don't think that. And also, Nero was able to stop both Sin Devil Trigger Dante and Nero, or Dante and Virgil, while in just his regular Devil Trigger form. So even if you want to say that they were super exhausted and they were like weakened Sin Devil Trigger, then you still have Devil Trigger versus Sin Devil Trigger to kind of even it out.
All right. I am bringing up the poll. Let's go ahead and get the any sort of last statements. Go ahead and kind of hopping off of that, Liam. Is there anything else you wanted to cover for Nero?
I think that if you go with the universe level arguments from for Hellboy, I think it makes it a lot closer. I do think that essentially, if you look at it, Hellboy in his fully powered up form is more equivalent to like an early series like DMC1 Dante, rather than who becomes much stronger over the course of the series, who Nero scales to. So I think that Nero is still going to be more powerful overall, though it's not a huge stomp. Nero's faster. He's got the ability to absorb souls and take their powers from other demons. He's got tons of experience. He's also a genius. Like the Devil May Cry characters are geniuses at seeing new weaponry, adapting to it, learning how to use it like on the fly. They're fun, goofy action characters. I think that Nero has everything needs to beat Hellboy here.
Nova in chat mentions, wait, I misclicked, so somebody just got a free vote. Let's see whose that was. All right, Javi, last bits for Hellboy.
Yeah, I mean, Hellboy, I mean, he's very much more grand in scale than Nero could ever hope to accomplish. He's able to completely obliterate large areas, like from mountain ranges to even the entire planet with his flames. He is very much a force to be reckoned with his right hand of doom, which can literally block any sort of attack that Nero can throw his way. He literally matches all of Nero's arsenal to a T. And he's also just virtually unkillable with how often he's able to completely not only regenerate, but regenerate fully with all of his health. So with that in mind, I think he wins this.
Okay.
Okay. What do you mean?
I was going to say, has Hellboy ever dealt with time manipulation? I don't know if we covered that.
Hellboy has not dealt with time manipulation.
Okay.
Nero can slow down time.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I think Javi's done an excellent job because I think going into this, I was kind of like, Hellboy. But now I do genuinely think this is a much better fight than I originally had assumed. I kind of just barely am leaning towards Nero because I feel like he's going to have some hacksy bullshit like time manipulation that's going to get around a lot of stuff and the classic Blitz argument. But honestly, I'm kind of on the fence. It's way, way closer than I initially assumed.
For sure. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I think the speed is the speed difference is maybe the biggest factor for me. Though the fact that Hellboy has multiple methods of coming back from death does make it a little tougher, though. I mean, you can come back to life as many times as you want, but if the other guy is fast enough to just keep putting you down, then it doesn't really matter, does it?
I also imagine if you did a really full deep dive in like Hellboy, there's like a 30% chance that he at one point in time gets anti-devil juice that like completely wraps this up with a bow, right? So it's like one of those things where it definitely feels like it deserves a real deep dive because they seem on a much closer like power scale than I thought. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very fun one.
This is I really like this, and of course we've never had Hellboy we've obviously had DMC in Death Battle before, and Nero's not Dante, but not a far cry from Dante. But we never really explored Hellboy, and I would love to explore Hellboy in a Death Battle. I think that would be great. But we will wrap up
Champions Island. We should have got Hellboy in the mix. Anyways.
That would have been a good one for Champions. No, I don't know if anybody requested Hellboy. I don't remember. But all right, let's go ahead and wrap up this poll. I saw some people saying, please don't wrap it up with 67% like last time. That's on you guys. That's up to you all in chat. Don't fuck this up, chat. Don't do it
again.
Don't give him the chance.
All right, I'm going to end the poll in 3, 2, 1, and the winner is, with 62% of the vote, Nero. Well, all right. I guess Hellboy is not going to be in Death Battle. That's so
funny. Oh man,
Hellboy is one of the most perfect characters for Death Battle. Like,
absolutely. I would love to bring Hellboy into Death Battle. All right, thank you all so much for joining us for another Death Battle cast. Liam, Javi, great job repping your characters. And what a matchup. Again, we have Champions Cast coming up in just a minute. If you stick around, you will automatically be moved over to it. It's just our kind of like post-show bonus cast extension epilogue thing that we do every Tuesday right after Death Metal Cast for members of the YouTube channel. So stick around. We'll get that going right off the bat with maybe talking about like favorite fictional swords and things like that. Like I think Sater mentioned in chat. Appreciate y'all. Great matchup. We will see you there in just a minute. Take care.